It is permanent.
What a loving Father.
It is permanent.
What a loving Father.
The blessings
What a loving, what a loving, what a loving. Blessings are permanent.
It is permanent. It is permanent. The blessings of Olumba in my life is permanent.
Blessings are flowing like a river.
BCS music.
So tell the people start to wonder. Waiting when you do this Olumba. Got your case is so different. I asked the motor, Papa, give me Ferrari, I asked the picking, Papa, give me a Jima. I asked for a job, Papa, make me employ. Man, I'm blessed, so the blessed people call me blessed. Yeah. Anything I lay my hands, yeah. Blessings flowing everywhere, yeah. People tell me God so for me, God so for me, God so for me, yeah. And I'm blessed, no be lie, oh.
It is permanent. It is permanent. The blessings of Olumba in my life is permanent. It is permanent.
What a loving Father.
It is permanent.
What a loving Father.
The blessings
What
of
a loving, what a loving, what a loving. Blessings are permanent.
It is permanent. It is permanent. The blessings of Olumba in my life is permanent.
Blessings are flowing like a river.
BCS music.
So tell the people start to wonder. Waiting when you do this Olumba. Got your case is so different. I asked the motor, Papa, give me Ferrari, I asked the picking, Papa, give me a Jima. I asked for a job, Papa, make me employ. Man, I'm blessed, so the blessed people call me blessed. Yeah. Anything I lay my hands, yeah. Blessings flowing everywhere, yeah. People tell me God so for me, God so for me, God so for me, yeah. And I'm blessed, no be lie, oh.
It is permanent. It is permanent. The blessings of Olumba in my life is permanent. It is permanent.
What a loving Father.
It is permanent.
What a loving Father.
The blessings
What
of
a loving, what a loving, what a loving. Blessings are permanent.
It is permanent. It is permanent. The blessings of Olumba in my life is permanent.
Blessings are flowing like a river.
BCS music.
So tell the people start to wonder.
Hello, good evening.
Waiting when you do this Olumba. Got your case is so different. I asked the motor, Papa, give me Ferrari, I asked the picking, Papa, give me a Jima. I asked for a job, Papa, make me employ. Man, I'm blessed, so the blessed people call me blessed. Yeah. Anything.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of the BCS Spot Light program on Star Cross Television. I am Stella Tabot. On your screen is Johannesburg, Bethel, South Africa, and the administrator and other well-meaning members of this Bethel are already with us on Zoom to tell us about the prospects, achievements so far made in this Bethel, as well as their challenges. But before we introduce our guest for today, let us first of all go on a very short break. We will be right back.
It is permanent.
What a loving Father.
It is permanent.
What a loving Father.
The blessings
What
of
a loving, what a loving, what a loving. Blessings are permanent.
It is permanent. It is permanent. The blessings of Olumba in my life is permanent.
Blessings are flowing like a river.
BCS music.
So tell the people start to wonder. Waiting when you do this Olumba. Cause your case is so different. I asked the motor, Papa, give me Ferrari. I asked the picking, Papa, give me a Jima. I asked if I job, Papa, make me employ. Man, I'm blessed, so the blessed people come.
Welcome back. It is still the BCS Spot Light program on your screen, and I still remain Stella Tabot. Yes, here with us is Johannesburg, Bethel in South Africa, and the administrator of this Bethel, Her Eminence Mapula Bolingo, and other well-meaning members of this Bethel are already with us on Zoom to give us everything we need to know about the achievements so far in this Bethel, their prospects as well as their challenges. Peace of the Father, Her Eminence.
Perfect peace.
How are you doing this evening?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you. So how is South Africa?
South Africa is so fine. It's good in the cold weather, but we are fine. We thank the Father for that.
Okay, so how are you managing the cold weather with the Father's work and your personal work and all of that?
The coldness cannot stop us from doing Father's work.
Right.
It's something that we are used to.
Okay.
So we just have to manage ourselves and do what we are supposed to do by the grace of the Father.
Definitely.
So let's just move straight into the business of the day. Let's get to know about the origin of Johannesburg Bethel in South Africa. How did it actually originate?
Johannesburg Bethel. It started just across the road from where we are now in Troyville. We just few members to mention Blessed Mother Sally, Bishop Uche, Bishop Norbert, with the missionary who was now His Grace Archbishop Salem. As time goes on, the Father made it possible for his children to get a permanent place, which is where we are now, in a beautiful structure. That's Johannesburg Bethel, with about plus minus 70 members. But you know how Father's children do. Some are not active, but on Sundays, I can tell you that we have plus minus 25 members of active members during services. Amen.
Okay, I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, so plus or minus, you have 70 members, but active
Yes.
members,
During Sunday
especially during
services, you have 25 plus or minus. So how came about the name Johannesburg? Is it actually named after the street where the Bethel is currently located, or something? We just want to know how the name came about.
No, it is about
where it is. It is in Johannesburg. Like we have another Bethel in Soweto. It is Soweto Bethel. We have another one in Pretoria, which is Pretoria Bethel. So we are in Johannesburg. This is Johannesburg Bethel.
Okay, that means that's correct. So how many functional fellowships do you actually have?
Bethel?
We have about 5 fellowships
That are kind of active, which is Men and Women Fellowship, Choristers Fellowship, Children's Fellowship, General Fellowship, and Welfare Fellowship.
Okay, so other fellowships means they are not functional. We have
just made mention of 6
made
others are not functional, like the Spirited Children's Fellowship, they're not functional. Abbas Fellowship, Elders Fellowship.
No, they are not. They are not really active. The ones that I mentioned, they are the ones that we
rely on many things. They are much more active.
Okay, thank you very much. So you made mention of your Bethel priesthood.
An archbishop. I don't know if I got you correctly. So let's talk about the part of evangelism in the Bethel. How effective is evangelism in Johannesburg Bethel?
I'm sorry, our missionary now is D.V. James Mensah.
Okay.
Archbishop Salem is when
the Bethel started in Troyville.
Okay,
he was the missionary. Yes. Okay, about the evangelism. Oh my God, sorry. We should answer that call. I'm sorry for that. The evangelism in the Bethel, we we are having a strategy on ministry works, and so in a sense that we do evangelism in front of our Bethel, because ever since the COVID-19, we have been restricted to go to other places. So what we do is that we do charity in the same time. At the same time, we'll be preaching and baptizing new converts. So we are handling it very well, and it is going well in the sense that even with this cold weather, it has not stopped us to go around other Bethels doing ministry work, because we cannot go and gather in some places since we are not allowed to do so. But so far we are doing well. We don't have much of problems. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you. So speaking of baptism, how many persons have the Bethel been able to baptize into the fold?
Though some they are coming in and going out, but we do have, I think last month we had about 4 members that are still coming. They are still active. We don't have problem with that. But I can assure you that every month we do get plus minus 3, because
Okay.
truly around here we are not allowed to go around. So we just manage ourselves doing charity works in front of our Bethels, and that's how people are coming.
Thank you
So
very
as
much.
a Bethel administrator, what would you say is a relationship like with both members of BCS and non-members in Johannesburg?
We do have strong relationship with other people around, in the sense that some of our members, they do go out to community, mix with them, to join with some sub-community duties. Like right now, what I can say is that there is a group of people that is going around cleaning town. So some of our members, they do join them to go and do so. And even when they do, they arrange on how to gather themselves and plan on how to get away with these people who are committing crimes around. We do join them at times when we are free. We do join them to do so. So we don't have much of problems. We are gathered together to help each other and tackle the issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So
Very much for
thank you very
doing
much.
justice to that particular question. I would love to divert more to the main purpose of this interview session, which has to do with what you've achieved so far, as well as the prospect for the Bethel before the expiration of the year. So let's start with the achievements so far from, say, the beginning of this year to this date. What have you been able to achieve as a Bethel?
Yes,
I think we have achieved a lot, though our numerical strength is not really that strong. Like I said to you, we have plus minus 20-25 on Sundays, but we manage to gather ourselves together, come like we work together to make sure that we will be able to achieve some things. We do every Friday of the last Friday of the month, we have fasting. Every Friday, last Friday of the month, we do have our Bethel fasting, where we uplift ourselves in prayers, we fast, and we know that all of us, we do testify that our Father is taking care of our problems. And also, we managed to achieve on our part of infrastructure, we managed to repair the roofings on some part, though we did not finish, but we know that the Father will do it for us. And yes, we had child blessings. Though we lost one of our Sabbath, but we know that the Father has glorified himself. But we achieved a lot on the part of evangelism. The baptisms that we had, the members are still strong, so we are happy for that. Thank you.
Okay, so having made mention of the things you've been able to
from
achieve?
January to this date. So what about those things you are aiming to achieve before the expiration of the year, like the prospect for the Bethel before the expiration of 2023?
I can say that it is all in the hands of the Holy Father. But as for us, as members of Johannesburg Bethel, we are planning on total renovation of the Bethel, which we know that with time the Father will do it for us. And also, we still encourage our members, those, like I said earlier on, that some of our members, they are not really active. We are planning on targeting the issue of encouraging them to come out so that we will do this work together. And yes, so that the Father will help us all. Amen.
Okay, so speaking on
Speaking
on the price,
some members or most of the members, since you have 70 maximum, and then at some point you have 2025 coming out. So since you have most members slacking or not coming out for activities, what are those modalities you've set out to see how to bring these other persons that have slacked back to come out for activities? What modalities have you actually laid down or have you set to in motion?
Yeah,
some of our members that we managed to contact, or when we meet in town somewhere, somehow, we talk to them and encourage them to come. They are coming out. So we still think that if we can continue following on those that are not coming, trying to encourage them to come out, I think it will work for us.
okay.
Amen.
Okay.
So thank you very much. So aside the fact that most members are not coming out for activities, which I see that to be one of the challenges you have as a Bethel, which other challenges are you facing as a Bethel?
We all know that every environment has its own challenges, but as Johannesburg Bethel, what I can say is that finance is one of the most, is one of the number one challenge, more especially that some of our members are not working. So to do some things, it becomes much more challenging because we end up focusing on few, but by the Father's grace, everything is done perfectly well. Amen.
Thank you very much. I will sincerely believe
as you have aired out your challenges before the Father, He has seen your heart, and then He has granted your innermost heart desires of taking away all those challenges so that the Father's children will come out and work for Him in spirit and in truth. So let's look at the parts of the welfare of the posted priest. We know for sure that the posted priest is there as the Father's representative. He's there representing the Father in the Bethel. So how well is he being taken care of as a priest?
As evident of the numerical strength, we thank the Father so much because coming to the welfare of the posted priest, we are handling it very well, to the fact that I can tell you that Johannesburg members are proud to say we don't even remember the last time where we owed the stipend. We are paying it as like as we arranged with the national executive, how they told us to do. That's what we do, and we don't even owe anything for now and nevermore.
Amen. Thank you very much. So I would love to ask again. There was a meeting
of the administrators with the Holy Father on the 1st of July, which is actually ending today. Tomorrow happens to be the 1st of August. So as one of the highlights of that meeting with the Holy Father, the key speakers actually talked about tithe management and the new approach to tithe payment. So I would love to ask how effective the coalition of tithe is in Johannesburg, Bethel, South Africa.
In Johannesburg, Bethel, we don't really have a problem. As the Father directed, that's how we follow up.
Okay. So we don't have problem. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Her
So,
Eminence
Her
Mapula
Eminence Mapula.
Bolingu. I don't know if I got that correctly. So let's get to know about, yes, let's get to know about whom our Father His Holiness Olumba Olumba Obu is to you.
You saying to me as personal or?
Yes, personal.
Personally,
I can tell you that His Holiness Olumba Olumba Obu is my God. I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart, and I know that nothing can ever divert my mind. If I have to give my testimonies, it will be until
Yes, you
tomorrow.
should. You should give out the testimonies. Testimonies are means or are ways of inspiring others. So if someone else
Out
or
there
someone
should be inspired by your own testimonies. So you should tell us your testimonies.
I look back to the
Very first day when I left my house, not knowing where I'm going, when it was the reason of me coming out of my house was that I was running away from this person that entered my house, and I don't even know him. The person entered my house when the doors and the windows were locked. It is when I entered Johannesburg Bethel, and then I saw the picture, and I said, oh, so this is the person that entered my house. I did not know the father at all by then. But from there, bit by bit, I knew the father, and I came to the understanding of who he is to me. And the last one I can tell you is when when we went to Piakpan as mob. But coming back, I think if you remember when they say people fell into the river, we were about 4 South Africans, and the other 2, I don't know where they come from, either Ghana or Nigeria, I'm not sure. But what I can say to you is that I went down into the, I tell you, I've never entered in deep waters before. But that day I fell into the river and I went down into the river. I kneeled, I was on my knees, in a position that as if I was praying. And everything happened so fast that I asked the father that, Papa, I've never entered in deep waters. Now that I'm inside the river, does it mean that it has finished? Then immediately I said, if that is the case, Father, thank you. As I said thank you, I felt like, okay, I died. But something made me to look on my right-hand side. As I look at my right-hand side, I just saw something red waving. To me, with my carnal mind, on that state, I thought that it was blood. And I was like, oh, blood, the crocodiles are eating my brethren, those that I was with. But immediately I said so. I just had a heavy knock, as if something is hitting something very, I don't know, whatever it is, that big sound that I had. And after that sound, I saw myself on top of the waters. And I promise you, I was now swimming like a professional, to the extent that I was even able to rescue one of our women in South Africa. I pushed her until we get to the rescuing boat. I don't know what happened. It is when I could not talk to anyone from that river until we reached in Ambo. But then when I narrated my story, people were like, no, it was not blood, it was the father. That day I could not sleep because as the father came out, remember it was the time for, what do you call it? It was Pentecostal. When the father came out for advice and blessing, the place was so packed, it was so full that I could not even get a seat, but I did not even bother going inside the wall. I just stood outside, like that side of the Blessed Mother's pew, but I was outside. I only wanted to see the father's face because I was asking myself, what is happening? You know, I know that for a few years I've been in BCS, but it was like I'm seeing the father for the first time. I was asking myself, Papa, does it mean that I died and you came and resurrect me? I was kind of having that question without an answer. So under normal circumstances, if I have to think, I've been to so many churches before I came to BCS physically, then I don't feel like there is somebody who can do that to me, for me. So what else should I call him if not to say he's my God? That's my answer. Amen.
Amen. Definitely. What else can you
If
call
not to
him
God.
if
You
not to
should
God?
have more testimonies.
I have.
Okay. One more to
feel like
inspire
I'm
us.
Being-
Embarrassing.
I have, but I feel like I'm being more emotional.
Oh, wow. I'm also being emotional over here. Trust me, your
Have
testimonies.
inspired someone else. In fact, I am inspired, particularly the second one you just talked about. Even the first one where you saw someone in your house or in your room and then you ran to Johannesburg Bethel, and then lo and behold, the same person you saw, the unknown person you saw in your room, the same person you saw on the portrait in the Bethel. Trust me, Olumba is God. There's nothing that can change that. Whether anyone believes it or not, nothing changes the fact that he is God. So being that we're running out of time, let us get some words of advice from you to our audience.
To
My fellow brethren, I can only advise them to do the Father's work in truth and in spirit. Let
Thank you.
somebody have that personal relationship with the Father. That will help us a lot, because whenever you do Father's work, you will know exactly what you are getting from it. Because as for me, I don't know, whatever it is that I'm doing for the Father, I do it proudly for now and evermore.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that wonderful advice,
Eminence
Her
Mapula,
Eminence
because
Mapula.
sincerely, if you're working for the Father, you should work with for the Father with all in fact with everything in you. Do not work for the Father with a kind of a biased mind. Do not say, if I do this, what will I get in return? He is your God. So do not expect anything in return, but know that one day whatever you do will definitely come back to you. So that's her advice for us today. Thank you very much, Her Eminence, for your time. Best regards to everyone in Johannesburg Bethel, all well-meaning members of the Bethel, and even all those persons that have stayed back from activities, reasons best known to the Father. We sincerely believe that the Father has met them, has touched their heart, for them to remember their promises, for them to remember the promise they made to their God, that they will serve him in spirit and in truth day and night. And you see them coming one after the other back to the Bethel, all to his glory and for our blessings. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much. So this is where we're going to say goodbye for today, until we come on your screen again next week Monday with yet another Bethel, another beautiful, another magnificent, another very good Bethel on your screen next week Monday. So best regards to everyone, Her Eminence. Good night, goodbye, and a blissful new month in advance. Thank you very much. I still remain Stella Tabot. Be blessed.
Television, Gospel